Hi, I want to propose a different way, a better way to learn from our national convention, ACR Convergence. Every year when we go to ACR, I always publish the ACR playbook. Been doing that since 2014. I tell you my tips for how to prepare yourself, how to get your information, how to design your strategy to learn at a gigantic meeting. The meeting has over 2,000 abstracts. There'll be 15, 16,000 people there. It'll be nonstop, wall-to-wall sessions and posters starting on Saturday and going through until Tuesday. And the question is, how do I do it? How do I choose? What should I go after? So again, the ACR playbook was designed to give you a strategy by which you could get the most out of what was basically a fire hose of information. And I do think that, you can go back and read some of our past playbooks, but I want to say that really we're at a different point now. Education is changing, and you need to have a way of dealing with what ACR is. It's not just a fire hose, it's emblematic of the information overload. Right? It's estimated that the sum of all human information doubles every 8 months. There's over 30,000 journals and over 2.5 million papers a year. How can you tackle all of this? Well, one way to tackle it is by, going with what's new, using your cell phone, right? Having digital learning methods, relying on peer-to-peer learning and small group learning. So again, the reasons to change are many. It is overwhelming, and education does evolve. No one buys journals anymore. No one reads journals anymore. No one buys books or reads them. It's all digital. It's all on the fly, and you need to be competent as far as digital learning. Your face-to-face time with drug reps is really limited. It's not, and ever since the pandemic, that's gone downhill a lot. And we rely more on, again, this on-the-fly way of learning and using digital means. So whether you're going to your local meetings, regional meetings, or this big ACR or ULAR meeting, you've got to find success and tailor it to you. I want to let you know that since we've been doing Room Now, I think we started in 2013, Room Now has been every year number one or number two in social media coverage of the meeting. The meeting is gigantic. The amount of tweets from the meeting has grown from a low of around 7,000 tweets at each meeting to as high as 28,000 in 2021. The number of impressions, the number of people that actually reaches has gone as high as 100,000 people. And there have been years during the COVID years when Room Now has accounted for, I think it was 25% of all the digital education. What do we do at Room Now when we're covering the meeting? Obviously, Room Now I put out tweets all the time, thousands every year. But during the meeting, I go to the Room Now faculty. I got the idea back in 2013 to hire young fellows, young graduates from fellowship programs. They were a little bit more adept at doing videos and tweeting than were the standard well-known key opinion leaders in every field. And now when I go to ACR, I employ about 15 to 20 young faculty reporters. And their job is to go out and attack the meeting and learn as much as they can. They work alongside another dozen or so KOLs that will help guide them and help shape some of the content. For all these people that work with Room Now during the meeting, the goal is, number one, have fun. Number two, learn a lot. And number three, share and use the tools at your disposal to share. So in the past, it was wandering around and saying, gee, I think I'll go to this session versus that session. And what happens? You go home, either you never discuss the meeting again, or if you're a fellow, you have to present your one abstract in front of everyone at grand rounds on following the ACR. That's not what we do. By the way we actually have our faculty work, these are the best examples of how you learn the ACR. Our faculty has told me multiple times, one, they love doing the meeting our way. Two, they love working in teams, and they love doing this peer-to-peer, cross-talk, small group effort. So we set up teams, right? We have a team that's going to cover, psoriatic arthritis. We got a team that's going to cover rheumatoid arthritis, etc. And our teams are usually made up of a KOL who's going to be our topic leader, and then 3 or 4 of our young faculty. And they get together and they look at all the content in that topic area, like rheumatoid arthritis, and they say, who's going to cover what? And they go out and then they do it. And then we bring them back together for them to share and to learn the content. And then we record it. And then we share that with everyone else. So it's teams, it's digital sharing, it's having a plan for how you're going to meet up and how you're going to meet up after the meeting to educate your peers. So again, it's all about engagement. The more engagement you have with the information and the people who have perspective on the information, the more you're going to learn. So what do you need? You need groups. And your groups can be me and my buddies. It can be your peers that you work with. It can be like-minded individuals who are either attending the same journal club or study group or are in the same research project. Within a rheumatology division, you're set up to build teams. You got faculty and you got fellows. You can form teams and you can go out and attack the ACR meeting. You'll learn more by covering more. We learn more as a group than we do as an individual. And the group is very involved in peer-to-peer sharing. Why do you learn more? Well, there's more discussion. There's more debate. Ultimately, there's more consensus. So in the past, when you've gone to a meeting, the meeting was done on the day the meeting was done. That's not the case when you build with teams and you cover with teams and you have a digital footprint of your coverage. Now it goes on for weeks after the meeting. So at this meeting, you'll need to change by having a team that you form or that you're a part of that's either dedicated to a topic or a session or a lecture, okay? The team should have a leader. That can be, in the case of a fellowship program, a faculty that will lead several fellows, and that team is going to be assigned to cover the plenary sessions on days 1 and 2. Another team might cover the plenary sessions on days 3. Another team might be covering late-breaking abstracts. Another team might be covering JAK inhibitors and TYK2 inhibitors. You see, you go after these select areas. And if you have a large group, you can cover a lot of different areas. Each of you can specialize on that one area and then share your information in the end. So you have to plan. You've got to go through. When you get your team, you're going to go over your content and plan what you're going to cover by having a hit list of the posters I'm going to see, the sessions I'm going to attend. What am I going to do as far as sharing it? So again, I want to say the things that are make for good content at the ACR are the plenary sessions. This year it's different. They meet at 9 o'clock in the morning, not at 10 or 11 o'clock like they used to. The late-breaking abstracts usually on the last day. And then other key sessions like the Great Debate or Knowledge Bowl or the Year in Review. Or your teams can be based on topics like RA, PSA, SPA, lupus, vasculitis, ILD, osteoporosis, or based on therapeutic targets, TNF inhibitors, JAK inhibitors, IL-17 inhibitors. So with that, you can cover almost a curriculum for the meeting. I tell everybody on the team, you got to tweet. If you don't know about tweeting, it's easy. It'll take you 2 minutes to learn. Get a Twitter account, go to a poster, take a picture of some key figure, and give the bottom line. Give a teaching point, and then reference the poster. So your tweet will always say hashtag ACR 2024. It'll also say abstract number 509, and it's going to have an image and whatever. Everybody tweets. Doesn't matter if everybody tweets on the same abstract or same poster. You'll get the same message delivered in multiple ways by multiple people. But when you're on a team, you want to maybe say that one person's going to cover this abstract in a plenary session. And another one, and that may be that you'll do a video, you'll write an article, or you do something like that. So again, you just everybody can tweet, but then everyone's got to come back together, and you can meet informally. Well, let's meet at lunch and cover some ground, figure what we did today, or let's meet at lunch tomorrow and we'll do a day one recap. Everyone gets to present their favorite thing from day one, or let's meet at the end of the day at McIlerney's pub down the street, and we'll have a beer and we'll discuss the highlights of the day. Let's go around the table. What did you think? What did you think? But you got to come prepared with notes. I want to talk about the plenary session on the neonatal Fc receptor monoclonal antibody nicolimab being used in Sjogren's syndrome. And you say, well, that was plenary session number or abstract number, and then you give the bottom line, and people will add to your discussion, people will ask you questions, people will critique. The group goes away with consensus, right? So you can meet afterwards, you can meet the next day, you can meet when you go back home. I like to tell everyone, come prepared when you have your meetings to discuss 2 or 3 of your favorite abstracts from that day or on that topic or from that session, okay? And then I want you to do something where you're going to make a permanent digital record of that. You're doing that partly by tweeting every day. You can do that better by having a Zoom meeting. So go home to your hotel rooms, or if you're watching it virtually, and then meet at 7 p.m. that night and recap the day. Or meet tomorrow and we'll cover the plenary session from day one. And you shoot your 15-minute video. You got a faculty member or a leader and 2 or 3 other faculty. If everybody presents one abstract in 1 minute and a few minutes of discussion, and then they present another one, do a shorter presentation a second time around, that can be a 15-minute video. When you're done, you can then save it and share it to your local city rounds group, your journal club team, your faculty and division at the medical school. And then if you have multiple people doing that and it just goes around, well, you'll be doing a lot of what we're doing at Room Now. But here's the deal. By you becoming the reporter, by you becoming the expert, by you engaging in the content, you're going to learn 10 times more than you would if you did it any other way, including the old playbook way, including the usual medical school way. This is the right way to do the meeting. I strongly urge you, get a team together and go tackle the ACR. Number 1, have fun. Number 2, teach and share. Number 3, meet, get together, and distribute. All right? Enjoy ACR.